And we are underway.
The uncle saying it's bootless until boots. Very interesting.
And we have a piece of heart. Now, Uncle not having a sword there means he's not going to have a sword. And we have a very early map check. We have crystals in the light world, and Desert Palace is a 5/6 crystal.
It doesn't get much better than that. You like seeing crystals in the light world. If you only had the other 5/6 crystal, that's pretty much perfect.
All right, let's see what Uncle has for us today. It is the hammer.
It's hammer time, y'all. Hammer does tempered damage, so this is not a bad item to have here. Plus, it is a progression item and one you need for Dark World.
Yeah, its hitbox is a little to be desired, but that tempered sword damage is certainly welcomed, especially early on. Also, you will notice that in order to do back of escape, you need a bomb. Now, in Zelda Randomizer, the drop items are randomized as well. So even though in NMG, you won't be able to get bombs from the guards, in Randomizer, you will, as you saw Mentosman do. So you'll want WinDEU. You're hoping WinDEU will also be able to find a bomb drop while he's running through the escape sequence.
Yeah, and getting the hammer here, you don't have to worry about magic or anything like that, so you can just kind of farm away if you want to.
And we have very, very good sync between both of these runners right now.
I guess you can say they're linked up.
That
was horrible.
Yeah, well, you know.
I get one every match. So Mentosman is using a very interesting sprite on the left side here.
Yes, an outline of Link. We have a heart container in the boomerang chest. All right, so still looking for a bomb on WinDEU's side. Gets that big key and a map. So in standard, in Randomizer, if you don't use the key standard option, the dungeon items are inside of the dungeon. In Escape, you only have a map and a small key, and we have found both of those. So that means it's going to be items the rest of the way here in the Hyrule Castle.
Got about 5 more chests remaining, including back of escape.
And Sanctuary chest.
Yeah, and Sanctuary chest, that's right. So yeah, so escape sequence here can be kind of slow. A lot of people like open mode because you're not forced into doing this, but I like this because it gives you the vanilla start, and it's always fun. And I'm definitely loving the random sword. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was gonna say he's still looking for a bomb, but you were talking about the random sprites, you mean?
Yeah, the random sprites, and I think I said sword, but there's so many random sprites. As you see, Mentosman is using one. Was there like almost 100 now, and they keep making more?
Yeah, we certainly have more coming in every version of the randomizer.
You may notice here while they're doing the dark areas of escape, normally you wouldn't have the light cone if you don't have the lamp, but for a standard mode they give you a free lamp for this area only.
Yes, because you do need the you do need the light in order to get through. So they give it to you so that way they don't have to guarantee that you get the lamp. But after this, you will need the lamp to see in the dark, and WinDEU did in fact find a bomb, so we're good there.
All right, now we'll get to see what's in the back of the escape here.
3 items here, and like we said, the dungeon items are all exhausted. So we got $300, $20, and a 5-bomb upgrade.
Yeah, a bunch of garbage. Oh, the
Hey,
300 rupees is good.
Yeah, you're gonna need that money for Zora, so...
So I shouldn't say complete garbage. 2/3 garbage.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Alright, so we have Zelda return to the Sanctuary. We're gonna see what this last item is, and it's a piece of heart. And from here, the world is your oyster.
Absolutely. Mentosman, saving and quitting out, which is a routing choice that you don't see too often, but he's going to go straight to Eastern, it appears.
This may also be to go buy bombs from the shop. Yep, he's heading south, so he's gonna go buy some bombs with that money that he got inside of Escape. We see that there's a big 20 on the Lake Hylia Island.
I did forget about this bomb shop down here.
Yep, and we have 10 arrows from the tree pole, and we're gonna see what the bush crabs have. They have $20. Wow. That is a nice thing to see when you're still farming money.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great beginning bush crab there.
And interesting enough, Mentosman is actually going to go ahead and, while he's here, do South Shore. We have a piece of heart up on the Lumberjack ledge, so Aghanim is not necessarily required just yet. We have another piece of heart in the dam.
WinDEU farming those 20 roops. Can't blame him there.
And we have swag in the Lost Woods at the mushroom spot. We have an empty bottle when you drain the swamp. And $20 in the Lost Woods hut.
Getting the bottom there will, if there's not one in Kakariko Village, that will make his routing a little bit better for being able to get Sick Kid there.
Alright, Mentosman gonna head into Mini Trolldorm Cave. Wasted a bomb trying to get one of those mini Trolldorms. And gets it on the second one. Very nice double there. And there we go. Okay, these items are going to be coming in fast. We got powder, $20. Power glove, piece of heart, and $300 in Mini Trolldorm Cave. WinDEU is now going to head into Blind's hut, and the 5 items there are Moon Pearl, Fighter Sword, 10 bomb upgrade, and 5 arrow upgrades. So put all that together, we have Dark World access, and Aghanim is officially dead. And triple bombs in the back of Blind's hut.
The runners will be happy about having Aga dead there and having the Dark World access super early too.
Chad also pointing out with that magic powder in Mini Trolldorm Cave that Magic Bat is on the table at this point.
Yeah, absolutely, and that'll be an easy route for Mentosman once he goes to Kakariko Village.
All right, so we had a Decane of Brine at the well. We have a piece of heart, and we also have piece of heart in Ice Rod Cave, another Master Sword and Tempered Sword in the well, as well as 5 bomb upgrades. So we got a lot of value here in Kakariko.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 swords already. That's a dream.
10-minute tempered sword. You certainly want to see that. So that was essentially 3 swords in Kakariko.
Yeah, for all. Yeah, absolutely. 1 in blind and 2 in well, right?
Yep. All right, so we had just 20 bucks in the chicken hut, and now we're going to see what's in the back of the tavern. And 300 more bucks, so we've certainly got enough money to finish this seed at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a money-hungry seed here. Now, with Mentos' routing south first and getting the bottle and the powder, it will make routing here in Kakariko a little bit better because he can do Sick Kid and Magic Bat right away.
Yep, and we just had a piece of heart on the library ledge. And just 5 bucks at the race game, so WinDEU is gonna nope out.
Yeah, no need for that 5 rupees with how this seed's giving out rupees.
Exactly. But WinDEU is gonna head to South Shore and gonna get that Power Glove and Magic Powder that Mentosman has already found. And Mentosman officially has Dark World access now that he's done Blind Sight.
Yeah, you could see him making, once he goes down the race game and checks that out, he might make a Dark World play right away. It might as well.
I mean, I don't know how you feel about 5 Heart Blind. Well, having that cane of, once you get the cane of Brian in the well, actually, I feel okay with 5 Heart Blind.
Yeah, at that point, and you still have some stuff checking Outcast, and you might get a couple more hearts. It won't be too bad. So naturally, that's probably going to mean that blind will be a pendant.
Certainly is possible. WinDEU making very quick work of the mini troll arms with that tempered sword. And WinDEU has his Dark World access getting that Power Glove. All right, so we're going to have new checks here from Mentosman. We're going to see Sick Kid first, which has a heart container. So now we're at 6 heart blind.
6 heart blind with Burna, with Burna, not bad. Yeah, looks like WinDEU's going to make Hype Cave check right away.
Yeah, not even going to bother with Ice Rod Cave, which we know is wasn't much there. I honestly forget what it was already.
I did too.
All right, Turtle Rock Skullwoods are pendants. Pod is a green pendant. Mire is a 5/6 crystal. So yeah, I would certainly be going to Thieves Town because that is a crystal dungeon.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be a logical play for Mentos at this point. He doesn't know that, but he will.
All right, the other thing WinDEU couldn't do yet was Magic Bat. And that was just 10 arrows, so no harm, no foul. Time for your Hype Cave. We have a piece of heart to start.
Hype.
20 bucks, an empty bottle, a piece of heart, and 50 bucks. So, meh.
Not a very hype cave. 2 empty bottles, though, so nothing in the bottles in this seed thus far, which is kind of disappointing, when you get those empty bottles with nothing in it. You're hoping for free potions, but here we are.
Yeah, but again, like, with the amount of money this seed is doling out, it certainly wouldn't be, certainly would be within reason to, before heading to Thieves Town, stop by that shop and pick up some red potions before you head into the Dark World.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. It's probably a very wise play. It would appear, based on pulling his hammer out, Mentos will also be disappointed by Hype Cave.
And WinDEU is going to go do Sick Kid, and I imagine Magic Bat also. And Mentosman doing the same map check that WinDEU did earlier. Just confirming what we already know.
It looks like WinDEU is going to be making the Dark World play. Being Skullwoods a pendant, I'll be curious to see if he goes up, decides not to go up to Skullwoods first, even though it's pretty quick checks overall, even without the Fire Rod.
And actually, that is what WinDEU is going to do, is check Skullwoods first.
Yeah, this ain't definitely not a bad play. You know, you get 2 items, and the first few items are fairly quick to check, so... You're not guaranteed any of the items, for that matter, without the Fire Rod, but you might get them.
But if you get them, you know, you get those 2 items, and then you're pretty much done with Skullwoods, unless it's a Pedestal Seed, and you can certainly go mode to Mothula pretty quick once you have the Fire Rod. We're going to start with a small key, though.
That's not bad. It'll make routing a little bit easier here. You can just go right in this room instead of going down into the Gibdo's room.
Yeah, because of Randomizer not requiring anyone to be soft locked, in the pinball room, there is always a key so that if you fall down that hole, you can get out. So having a small key in the one room that WinDEU found it means we won't be checking that one chest because we know a small key is there. You only really need it if you don't find a small key and you need it to get through that front portion of Skullwoods. Oh, but WinDEU taking a death right as he was trying to fall down the hole.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. As he's going down to get hit by that guy, those things do, what, 2 hearts of damage in the Dark World. So with Green Mail, it's easy to die there with the limited hearts they have.
And interesting, it looks like Mentosman's going to be heading over to Pendant Pod.
A definite gamble at this stage, but if there's something here, this could pay off big dividends.
I mean, I personally would, like, if I was running this race, and granted, I suck at this game, so we'll take that for what it's worth, I would probably be heading to Thieves Town first, but you never know. I mean, certainly what we've been seeing in version 29 is that there are certainly progression items in Pendant Dungeons.
Yeah, absolutely, and Pendant Dungeons do seem a lot more important than, you know, why not give it a shot? You know, you might know he's playing a good player and feels like you gotta do some chances to win seeds like this, races like this.
Well, we get the big key to start, so Mentosman is going to have to nope out. You need a small key for that front door, and if you don't find it there, you're going to find it in the bow lock portion, and if you look on our trackers, we have no bow.
That is true. You could, if they had a potion, do a minor glitch that I think still legal to get past bow side, but I don't know if it's really worth it at that point.
It was made legal in this tournament. So with that unfortunate pod play, it looks like Mentosman is going to head over to Village of Outcasts, right on WinDEU's heels.
Yep. So both runners kind of having a bit of a time sink going on with Mentos pod play and WinDEU's death and Skullwoods. He's not going to go back up to Skullwoods, though.
Well, the thing was, he found 3 dungeon items, so the chances are, unless the big chest and the one the one chest behind the statue switch, there was gonna be an item in the Mothula portion of Skull Woods. But WinDEU is gonna head into Thieves Town, which we can full clear with that hammer.
Thieves Town, sorry, is always an interesting dungeon because in NMG it's a little bit of a later dungeon to get to, where in Rando it seems to be one of the first you actually check, so you definitely come unprepared a lot of the time.
Well, I mean, realistically, as long as you have an item that can damage blind, which most of the time you need the hammer to get to the Dark World, you can full clear Thieves Town pretty much once you have the hammer.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is the one dungeon that has the fewest items necessary to finish it. But we got a flute in Thieves Town.
It's a nice find. If they find mirror, you can just mirror right back and get that flute activated.
Alright, so WinDEU is into the back portion, and Mentosman8 is right on WinDEU's heels. Having a little... Ooh, almost got through that hellway without any damage, but unfortunately got hugged by the Anti-Fairy.
That's... Anti-Fairies, do a harder damage plus take your magic, so... The only thing in the game that takes your magic, I believe.
I believe so.
You gotta be careful with these lizard dudes here. They do 2 hearts of damage and can kill you really quickly.
And we have a piece of heart there. WinDEU only having 1 bomb left, but we do have bombs underneath those skulls, so no problem there.
Well, they both took a hit from the Anti-Fairy. That just seems fair.
Yep. So we have the small key already, so we can see what's in the big chest. And WinDEU's gonna rescue the maiden first before that. We're gonna find 50 bucks in the maiden's chest. WinDEU powdering the bunny beam to get his health back.
A good play, and play you see from the runners a lot. If and bunny beam is under a pot like that, you can powder it to get the fairy still. So very good. It's very good if you know it.
And we had a Bombos medallion in the big chest in Thieves Town.
Well, we know we're going to need at least 1 medallion for sure, so getting 1 of the 3 now, that's okay. Alright, as we head into the blind fight, I'd be remiss not to mention that sword beams do 1 damage, and any sword you have do the same amount of damage as well, so it doesn't matter what sword you have. And also same with the hammer or Can Samaria.
And interesting, WinDEU is using sword beam strats on blind here. Normally with Randomizer, you'll see people get behind blind, but having those sword beams, WinDEU is just going to use those and gonna... Ooh, almost had it, but Got a hit, but took down Blind, no problem. He gets a compass for his troubles and the first crystal of the game at 25 minutes.
25-minute first crystal, not too bad, not too bad.
And actually, Mentosman gonna pick up that heart, so he'll be at full health also. Now, interesting with finding Bombos in Thieves Town and Skullwoods and Turtle Rock both being pendants, we may not actually need the Fire Rod because we have at least the medallion to get into Ice Palace.
That is absolutely true, and a fire swordless seed is a rare seed, but as you can see, it is possible. Right now, WinDEU making his way through the rest of Outcast Village here. I believe with the flute, Death Mountain is in play now, at least the Light World side.
Yeah, Light World, Death Mountain. You don't have the mirror, so you still need either the hook shot or the mirror to do East Side Death Mountain, and the same to get to Tower of Hera.
That's right. I did forget about the mirror there for a minute. And it wouldn't be full clearable anyway because we don't have a fire source.
Only if you need to take a coffee break. You know, you got to get that coffee piping hot before you go up the tower.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only way, really.
So just $20 at the digging game. We're going to see what Stumpy's holding today, and it's triple bombs. And WinDEU's going to nope out, having already done Hype Cave.
So really, at this point, there's not... excuse me, apologize for that. There's not a whole lot they can do, but I believe they haven't went to Eastern yet at all, right?
Yeah, neither runner's been to Eastern yet. In fact, neither runner's even checked the Hospitalist Closet. Alright, so WinDEU is going to activate that flute, and Mentosman is right behind him with the audio. So ladies and gentlemen, at this time to honor Hyrule, please join us in the playing of the National Swag Duck Anthem. And the goose is loose for both of our runners. WinDEU is actually going to head back to Ice Rod Cave, having not completed it yet. And we'll see where Mentosman flutes to. And it's going to be Death Mountain.
Okay. Not a bad play from either player. Having the flute makes the Ice Rod check pretty trivial, and then Mentos doing Dark Room Old Man saves.
Just getting that piece of heart in the Ice Rod Cave. And WinDEU will float away here. This is a sequence break without the lamp. The logic will... Whatever the old man has is not guaranteed progression until the runners have the lamp. But it's a big 20, so who really cares?
Exactly. But they do get the save point up there, which is nice to have later on if we don't find the mirror for a while.
Certainly, indeed. So basically, we're going to have the two items on and inside of Spectacle Rock. You can only get the one inside. We have, flippers on Spectacle Rock. And the bow inside Spectacle Rock.
Oh, that is nice. That Spectacle Rock holding out today. Getting the bow there means Eastern is full clearable if they want to do Dark Rooms.
And we are already mirror required with Swamp Palace being a crystal, but we are even more mirror required with those flippers being on Spectral Rock. You have to have the mirror in order to get them. Mentosman setting up a bomb jump. Gets it.
That could be a tricky bomb jump from time to time, so that was a good bomb jump there.
And actually, we're going to see Mentosman check Spike Cave voice here. He's got the hammer and the Cane of Brine, so this is certainly doable.
Absolutely. Nothing wrong with getting that out of the way early so you don't have to worry about it later. Not a whole lot hard, so you do have to be a little careful, but should be fine.
All right, so I would certainly imagine these runners are heading for Eastern Palace, having found the bow now.
That appears to be what WinDEU is going to do, which is a wise choice.
Yeah, there's this a 5-arrow upgrade on inside of Spike Cave.
So WinDEU did not miss much by skipping Spike Cave. Oh, that is true. That does open up more pod, and Mentos did go there earlier, although he is going to Eastern here.
Yeah, I would imagine Eastern's the play since it is a crystal. We have a heart container, triple bombs, and 5-arrow upgrade inside of Sahasrah's closet.
Holding out nothing special there. So this is about the only play they can really make at this point that I can think of, so there should be something good here in Eastern.
Or the logic could send them independent pod. I mean, that is possible as well. And we
That
still
is
have...
very true.
There are still the 2 checks in Skullwoods that we have not seen because of WinDEU taking the death before finishing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I did forget about those. The chests.
Yeah, we got the big key to start in Eastern. Someone asking about Catfish. I believe Mentosman did Pyramid Ledge and Catfish, and I don't think I saw anything of importance at either of those places.
I believe you're right. I don't quite remember Catfish, but I know Pyramid had nothing.
WinDEU gonna powder that anti-fairy and then use his swag net to capture it and put it in a bottle. Just 20 bucks in the first chest, in the first item. We have 3 here in Eastern Palace. Now, technically, this is still out of logic because we don't have the lamp. The dark rooms here are some of the easier ones in the game, so I imagine both these runners will be able to do the dark rooms, but the logic is not going to put anything of value that it intends to be blocked by the lamp. So realistically, it's here with the map or the big chest if the logic's progression is here in Eastern. And it basically comes down to this big chest, and it is a piece of heart. So there's still 1 item left, but the logic will not require it until they find said lamp.
And most likely, and these are 2 of the easier dark rooms in the game, so most likely both runners is going to complete it and get Eastern out of the way, which is a good play.
And just triple bombs, so we have all 3 items that are in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, so Eastern's a bust. Maybe that pod play is looking better.
I mean, other than the 2 items in Skullwoods, there really isn't much anywhere else to check at this point.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's both being pendants. You know, it's might as well go in the pod.
Yeah, dude, pointing out, Crystal Dungeon is never a bust. We're just talking about it from the perspective of trying to find the next progression item.
Yeah, absolutely.
You certainly need those crystals to finish this.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a crystal is always makes the dungeon worth it. You saw WinDEU have a little bit of trouble in that dark room with that Igor. It's about the toughest part of that is trying to keep him awake and hitting him and in the dark.
Yep. But here we go. WinDEU is going to head into the Armo Snipe fight. And there we go. Just a compass and the second crystal of the game.
Both runners with crystal number 2 early. And now we get to have the fun. Where's progression? And where will that progression lead next? I would figure ideally they would want mirrors so we can get the flippers and have, you know, Ice Palace, Swamp available, which you'd like to go modem, but those are a lot of items.
And so here we have some divergence. WinDEU is gonna fake flipper and see what is around Zora and Lake Hylia, while Mentosman8 is gonna head back to pod. Now
I like both these plays.
Yeah, the thing is we can't get to Ice Palace because we don't have the Titan's mitts yet.
That's right. I always forget that small detail. Sorry about that.
No, you didn't say that. Someone in chat was saying that they could sequence break to Ice Palace, but
I thought you talked about earlier when I mentioned that if we got the flippers, we could go with the swamp or ice. But yeah, either way, mitts are required.
And WinDEU is just checking Hobo, and we'll see where WinDEU flutes to. No, he's going back. He's gonna check Zora. I guess he doesn't know how to fake flipper from the Hobo. Bubby2 just gave us a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much.
You the man. Thank you. Yeah, the fake flippering from the hobos is pretty much pixel perfect. It's pretty hard to do, actually, and if you're not used to it, it's probably quicker doing it the way he did.
We have a big 20 and two big 20s in the Waterfall of Wishing Cave.
And if you weren't entirely sure, for some reason, if you had the Moon Pearl and no flippers, if you fake flipper up to the Waterfall of Wishing, it lets you walk on water at that point and check everything. I'm not sure how that works, but if you didn't have the Moon Pearl, you couldn't check that area with fake flippers.
It's a minor glitch. I don't know the specifics of how that minor glitch works in the game. I just know that's how it works.
Exactly. And that's all we need to know, really.
All right, what lesson does Zora have for us today? An ice rod lesson.
Ooh, that's ugly.
Now again, Turtle Rock is a pendant dungeon, so this is not necessarily needed for this seed unless it is a pedestal one. Or Trinex has an item.
Mm-hmm. Someone in the chat. That's cold. Wow.
Oh, so many puns here.
I make one a match and then I'm done. There's no more puns. WinDEU giving us the Agina check.
There's the mirror. It is in pod.
Pod paying off. That means we can get the flippers as well, which will be nice. And just honestly, just navigating will be so much easier now.
All right, piece of heart to start. Looks like WinDEU is gonna check Spike Cave here. We know it's just a 10 arrow upgrade.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting out the one-offs out of the way. Understandably, because since Pod and Skullwoods are pendants, he may not want to necessarily dip into them, but as we know now, those are very important. Or Pod is, I should say.
Mentosman have a little bit of trouble in the dark maze. And there's the compass. Heart container is the other item in the dark maze, so we got big chest, and I can't remember if Mentosman did Harmless Hellway yet, but should be wrapping up pod here shortly. Ooh, hook shot!
Whew. Oh, pendant Pod, you dirty.
All right, so once Mentosman gets the flippers on Spectacle Rock, that will open up Swamp Palace. That also and also while he's getting those flippers, that will open up east side of Death Mountain as well. Well, both, whether it was the mirror or the hook shot, that would have opened up Hera. And WinDEU is right behind Mentosman, so I imagine WinDEU's going to get those items as well. And we're going to see Mentosman go ahead and finish off Helmasaur while he's here.
Yeah, I didn't keep track of the items that well, but even if he has all the items, this is the green pendant, and you're right here for Saras Lila, so it'll be an easy check for the green pendant.
And I have commentated a seed where not finding that green pendant certainly caused some problems, as the required fire rod was at Sahasrahla.
Oh, that's mean. That hurts the soul to think about.
Although Mentosman is going to have to do this one in the dark, which I can do the first two dark rooms. This is one that I am still having to work on.
Yeah, I call it the Ninja Turtle room. Yeah, this is not easy in the dark.
No.
And if you're me and forget there's a room before it, you're like, why am I not hitting turtles? Oh yeah.
But Mentosman has no problem with it and heads right into Helmasaur.
Alright. And for those of you that don't know, it actually takes 17 hammer hits to knock that mask off.
And very quick work on Helmet Star on Mentosman. And just a 5-bomb upgrade. And getting that green pendant. And I imagine that setting up the mirror is going to be to turn that in right away.
That would appear to be the case here. It's a very smart, again, very easy check. You not having green pendant either at Pyre Easton, not bad.
WinDEU using the hammer yump to get the hook shot, and $50 for getting Sahasrala's family heirloom back to him.
$50 ain't bad, but we have all the monies.
This is true, and Mentosman is going to head up to Death Mountain.
Yeah, this isn't a bad play with Hera open, not full clearable potentially, and then the east side open, which he's going east side first. This is a smart, good play here.
All right, so chat is talking about our good old friend, the pedestal. Honestly, with Turtle Rock being a pendant, that covers a lot of the things that cannot be on the pedestal. Realistically, at this point, the only thing that is not going to be on the pedestal is going to be whatever medallion we need for Meyer. We got Fisher-Price, My First Shield, and the Arrow of Destiny, and unfortunately, WinDEU noped out of Pod before getting the mirror.
Oh, that's not good.
That could be huge, because 20 bucks, 5-bomb upgrade, 10 arrows.
Yeah, because realistically, with Pod being a pendant, he may not come back there for a while.
And we got Dust Boots and a Piece of Heart in the rest of Paradox Cave.
Always love a good pair of boots.
Now, the interesting thing, though, is... I mean, Hera is full clearable, but full clearable so long as we don't need to take a coffee break. 20 bucks on the floating island. Unless Hera has any progression, I mean, WinDEU's not gonna be able to really go much further with what he's been given. He may have to go back to Pod.
That is a very good point. So he might not lose out on too much time, thankfully for him.
Alright, so we have the big key in the front of the basement, so as long as we find the 2 items on the way up Hera, we will not need to take that coffee break. There's a small key to start.
I think we just saw a rage spin from Mentosman there with that key.
No, I think that was him trying to set up the fast speed or a spin slash where you try to dash and do a sword spin, and that speeds you up. You can also do it with the hook shot, I believe.
Yes, that is correct. I did forget about that. How quickly I forgot about boots.
It's all right. We all forget stuff. All right, compass. All right, unless this is an item, there is going to be an item in the coffee break room. All right, it's 50 bucks. So if it's going to come down to if Trolldorm has an item, or if it's a map, then there will be an item in the basement.
And that will definitely play on your mind as a runner, knowing that last item's there. Oh,
and Mentosman falls down the troll hole.
You don't just fall down one hole, you fall down 2 holes. Oh, that's brutal. When you have Tempered Sword, Moldorm goes down in 1 spin slash and a regular slash. He was trying to get that last slash in, but just couldn't quite get it.
Oh, and gets trolled again.
Trolldorm living up to his name today. Ooh. See how WinDEU does.
Gets it on the first try. Very clean fight. And there's 20 bucks, so we don't have to do a coffee break. And Mentosman is still getting trolled by Trolldorm.
That's rough. That's why we call him Trolldorm. He can be a bit pain in the butt.
Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's see if WinDEU goes back to pod. He was gonna go that way and then noped out. He's instead going to Sanctuary.
Probably gonna check the Bonk Rocks. And
that would make sense.
Yeah.
And Mentosman gonna mirror to get those flippers.
Bonk Rocks with just an error upgrade.
And there is WinDEU heading back to pod. No! He noped again! No, come on, WinDEU, you gotta go back to pod!
He just does not want to do pod. I imagine he has another check in mind, maybe, before he goes in the pod. He hasn't checked Pyramid and Catfish yet. That's right.
And we just have a 5-arrow upgrade on Spiral Cave. So, at this point, we can check Graveyard Ledge, we can check King's Tomb, we can check, south of Grove Cave, but realistically, if those overworld checks don't have the next progression item, we're gonna have to go back to Skullwoods.
We got Swamp access too, right?
Yes, we do have Swamp Palace. I forgot about that.
Okay, yeah, I know nobody wants to do Swamp Palace. But that might be the play, too. That is correct. Swamp Palace won't, yeah, Swamp Palace won't... Well, will it?
I'm not as proficient in the pod logic as Dr. Bobtastic is. But I really would.
It wasn't found in a dark room.
No, it was in it was on the bridge in the main room.
Oh, that is a good point. The hook shot though was behind dark room maze on the big chest.
So it wasn't the mirror that would be causing it to not be the lamp, it was the hook shot. So that's what could say that the lamp is but yes, the mirror being on the bridge means the lamp could be in the front portion. The hook shot being in the big chest means it's not going to be in the lamp can't be in the hook shot portion.
That's right. Yep, that makes sense. That's complicated.
Like I said, I don't have the proficiency of the logic that Dr. Bobtastic does. And here we go. WinDEU is heading back into pod, and it looks like he might be making a beeline for that mirror.
Yeah, at this point, he's got to feel... Well, it's interesting. He's got to feel a little bit behind, but it's hard to tell with this being a pendant how far behind he might think he actually is.
Yeah, he's got the mirror now. And WinDEU is going to go ahead and finish pod while he's here to make sure he doesn't make the same mistake again.
So the question...
Unfortunately, we know that there is nothing else in pod at this point, but WinDEU doesn't know that, and WinDEU's got to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially having already two major items, you can't risk leaving the third. But the question I have now is, where is Mirror? Lamp, sorry, not Mirror. We know where Mirror was.
Skullwoods, maybe? Or the front part of Swamp.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost... Yeah, it could be... Have they checked King's Tomb or the Grove Ledge?
No, not yet. And Mentosman8 is going to head straight to Swamp House.
He forgot he needed to drain the swamp first.
Apparently, I missed that. I missed Mentosman earlier checking the harmless hellway to get that small key there. All right. Let's see what we got here in Swamp House. In terms of go mode, we need Titan's Mitts, we need the Cane of Samaria, and technically we need the lamp, although these runners may be proficient with their dark rooms to where they don't actually need it. The logic will say they need it. And whatever the medallion is for Meyer.
Which we may have already, we don't know. But yeah, we're getting close to go mode, but you know, those are the last couple items are always can be pretty tricky.
Melissa Angel YT asking, don't you need Fire Rod for GT? If, you would need the Fire Rod if the big key is in the right side portion of the Ganon's Tower basement. Both torches in the gauntlet, in theory, you can use the lamp. You don't absolutely need the Fire Rod. It would certainly be easier with the Fire Rod, but you can do it without the Fire Rod in the gauntlet. All of the torches are reachable by foot, so you don't need it, but given that you're dealing with a falling floor in the 6th floor, it would certainly be helpful. We got half magic and a fire shield in Swamp. Mentosman did avoid left side, so we'll see if he finds all the items without having to go back left side. Got the map there.
Half magic's not required, but pretty nice to have.
Alright, Mentosman is into Argus. WinDEU is right behind Mentosman into Swamp Palace. So far, we haven't really found anything in Swamp Palace. So that may lead the runners back to Skullwood, so we don't find anything on the left side. We got a piece of heart.
I can't help but think about that death WinDEU had and at Skullwoods and how much that could come and play here.
He's essentially a full dungeon behind Mentosman at this point. And however, Mentosman is gonna head back in, so not necessarily a full dungeon behind. Someone's asking, why can the big key be in Swamp Palace big chest in Rando? So this is a new thing to version 29. So for things like the Swamp Palace big key, where you only need it for the big chest, or for example, like Thieves Town, the small key to get to the big chest, the logic can put it in there because essentially it's no long its requirement is only for that one chest. So for example, if you put it in there, you don't need it, ergo that's essentially where it is for the thing that you need it for.
And if I'm not mistaken, Skullwoods is also like that, where the big key can be locked in the big chest?
Yes. Because the big key is only needed for the big chest there. Because essentially, for the way the game is set up, with the hook shot being in the big chest in Swamp and the fire rod being in the big chest in Skullwoods, it's essentially what's essentially going on there is that the big key is basically locking you from the boss. We got Silver Arrow's left side. That's all the items in Swamp Palace, so Mentosman nopes out.
Silvers is going to be a nice find for Blind, or not Blind, Ganon, wow. And for really the rest of the game because of how powerful they are, but it does not give us progression.
Nope. Still looking for a Cane of Samaria, still looking for a Titan's Mitts, and still looking for that lamp. Well, speaking of Titan's Mitts, there we go. That opens up Ice Palace.
That also opens up Desert.
Yes, you are correct on that. Which is where Mentosman is heading.
This is a good play because if Bombos is the, well, we can see what the medallion for Meyer is. We can't go in. We can't complete it yet.
WinDEU gets Argus down. A piece of heart and a 5-bomb upgrade in the Meyer shed. It is Ether.
Well, that's fun.
The vanilla Ether for Meyer. Ten arrows in Checkerboard Cave. So to the earlier point about the fire rod and saying that these runners may not need the lamp, we do need at least a fire source for Ganon's tower.
We also need a fire source for Desert Palace.
This is true.
Yeah, that lamp is being a little bit of a pain to find right now, and
10 arrows in a Genis cave, so nothing doing there.
so Mentos deciding not to go in the desert, even though it's clearable up until Land Molus, obviously, but you'll get at least one item, but I understand this play.
Yep, heading, I would imagine this is a play for Dark Death Mountain.
And we could check even though it's a pendant, we could check the T-Rock medallion just in case it's either A, needed, and if it is Ether, but then we know that that pedestal is definitely out of play at this point.
That is also true. All right, so we got 2 items here in Super Bunny Cave. We have 4 in Hookshot Cave. And we know the floating island doesn't have anything of importance. We got a piece of heart and 50 bucks. Triple bombs in Hookshot Cave.
It appears that WinDEU is maybe making the Skull Woods play once again.
$5, 5 arrow upgrade, and 10 arrow upgrade, so nothing doing in Dark Death Mountain.
Gotta be a little disappointing for Mentosman there, but at the very least, now he knows.
Well, and it is Bombos for Turtle Rock.
Well, that's interesting. We do have that medallion, but we don't have the Can of Samara yet, so we can't do anything there, but that is something to keep in mind for later.
So that does mean Ether can be on the pedestal. Now what's interesting here is that WinDEU does not have the Titan's Mitts that are in the South of Grove Cave. So it is possible. This is why he's doing Skullwoods, because this is pretty much the only thing he can do at this point. King's Tomb having the fire rod, so we got our fire source.
You saw WinDEU on that side using bonk strats for that bomb jump. Bonk strats, bonking actually gives you a little bit more leeway on bomb jump. From 1 pixel to I think like around like 6 or 7 or so.
All right, and with finding the compass in the big chest, there is going to be an item on in the back portion of Skullwoods that you would need the fire rod for. And Mentosman using that fire rod to head into Ice Palace.
I definitely like this play for Mentos here. I know go moding Ice Palace would be nice, but this does seem to be where the seed is pointing you.
All right, we have a blue goo in Skullwood, so unless progression is behind the fire rod, there's not going to be anything in Skullwoods. We're realistically just looking for Cane of Samaria and Ether Medallion for go mode. Technically, you need the lamp, but I don't think these runners are going to be worrying about that lamp.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the Mire Dark Rooms aren't the funnest, but I don't think it'd be too much fun.
For these runners, I think they got it.
I will agree.
This looks like WinDEU getting the fire rod once he finishes Graveyard Ledge.
I wonder if he will go back to Skullwoods once he finds that, then.
We will see momentarily. Very nice spin slash to get all those pen gators on Mentosman's side. Alright, we got a Heart Container and Ice Palace. WinDEU is picking up that Fire Rod. Mentosman tried to hover, but no go there.
Not quite, not quite. Always fun to see some hover strats. Hover attempts.
So instead of going to Skullwoods, it looks like WinDEU may be heading for South and Grove Cave.
Yeah, it does appear so, and he'll be happy with what he finds.
Yep, here we go. WinDEU will be getting his Titan's Mitts. And WinDEU is going to be right on Mentosman's heels in the Ice Palace. Or was. He's going to go. He's going to go to Desert first. Whether this is to just check Mire or actually go into Desert, which you can full clear now that you have the Fire Rod.
Yeah, absolutely. And which would be a good play.
Cassius Bernard bringing up a good point. I mean, they're still on green mail, so cold stare hugs are going to be pretty lethal right now.
Yeah, absolutely. What is that, about 5 hearts of damage?
4.
4. That's still a lot.
Alright, we got a B-Torp in Ice Palace.
Yeah, this logic, though, could be very... If you did this logically, this logic of the seed is very interesting, to say the least. We had Mirror and Pod, which could be have Lamp Lock behind it, which then in turn would logically open up the hookshot.
The interesting thing was there wasn't anything in Swamp Palace, so we're still missing that lamp.
Yeah.
The mirror. All right, we got the mushroom in desert. Mentosman doesn't really get cold stare in a corner there. We have a small key on the torch in desert. So the thing is, okay, let's think about this. So the mirror leads you to the Titan's mitts. And we're still waiting for the lamp to basically take you back to pod to get the hook shot.
That's nasty logic right there. Which is a pendant, mind you.
I gotta imagine this other item in desert has to be something at this point. Because we haven't found anything in Ice Palace.
Yeah.
This second desert item has to be something.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Or, it could also be that second item in Skullwoods.
It could be the mushroom, too, because we did get the mushroom here. We might have to go to the witch.
Well, Lambo's gonna have that item.
I will say, this has been a fun seed to commentate. This is a very interesting seed, the way everything's working out.
Very much so.
If you are new to Randomizer, this is a good seed to watch for how crazy the logic is getting.
So,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, at this point, in terms of go mode items, you kind of want to find Ether before you find Kane, because Kane could lead you to Turtle Rock before Meyer.
Oh, yeah, and Turtle Rock would be completely completable. Ugh. Ether on Trinex. That would not be fun.
All right, WinDEU making quick work of Lamulus with the silver arrows, and it's a big 20.
Ooh. Well, here comes the witch.
We're pretty much down to mushroom or the other item in Skullwoods. WinDEU is, of course, going to go to Ice Palace first, because he hasn't done that.
That makes sense. It's a good play from his perspective. We know it has nothing, but it is a crystal dungeon, so at that very least it has that.
Yeah, we're really just Ether and Kane away from go mode at this point. You almost have to think at this point... Well, no, because the lamp could be in Turtle Rock.
It could be. Yeah, that would be trolly too. Ugh.
We'll see where Mentosman goes next. Oh, chat bringing up a good point. We still haven't saved Jeremiah. We still haven't done, Peg Cave. We haven't done the lunchbox. We've still got some checks we can do.
That's absolutely right. There's a good chance Mentos is probably going to be doing those right now. Melissa, later on in the dungeon, you still can get quite a few hundreds before you need the lamp. Oh, well, Mentos is doing his bumper cave and graveyard check here.
Which we've already seen from WinDEU.
Yep, holds a whole lot of nothing that he wants.
Very nicely done on the spin as well for WinDEU. Yeah, realistically, the Cane of Samari is the last thing you want to find right now, because that is pretty much going to send you to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, absolutely. And it feels like this race is going to come down to whoever finds the next major progression item and where they have to go. We're gonna get the witch check here, so this could be major.
All right, let's see what we got. It's just $100.
Ugh. Well, got a discount. If you would have took it, you would have got a discount on that blue potion. It would only cost them effectively 60. Mentos chicken catfish. Have we seen catfish? I thought we did.
I thought we did too. And it's just a big 20 anyway.
You know, we might be getting seeds crossed. We might not have seen it, actually.
Oh, chat confirming that it was WinDEU that checked catfish, not Mentos.
Ah, fair enough.
All right, so I imagine this is going to be Jeremiah, Gary, and Lunch in a Peg Cave.
And at this point, unless I'm missing something, one of these three has to have something.
Well, there's still the chest in Skullwoods. Or the second item in Skullwoods, I should say.
Yeah, that's right. It's easy to forget that one. At this point in the run, when you're just looking for these items, you figure both runners gotta be feeling a bit of pressure here. Because you know at any point, your opponent could be checking these same areas, and if you find something, they might already have it. Now, obviously, we know that's not the case here. They're both missing the same thing, but it's gotta be start getting nerve-wracking.
The way you gotta do it when you run it is you have to assume you've made every wrong decision and your opponent has made every right decision. Especially considering that those Titan's mitts were really easily to get to. And we have a shovel.
Well, luckily it'll be an easy check. We'll grab the purple chest here and probably just head straight to dig spot.
Yo, dog, I heard you like fetch quests, so I put a fetch quest in your fetch quest so you can fetch quest while you fetch quest.
This sea just keeps getting more and more interesting. Surprisingly, Mentos deciding to skip out on the dig spot.
Probably gonna turn in the lunchbox first. Which just has a big 20.
Yeah, I guess it isn't too far from the lunchbox to get back up to the dig spot. Probably end up being about the same distance.
All right. Mentosman heads to the Haunted Grove, gets that shovel out, strikes the earth for a bloomerang.
So, Skullwoods it is!
I said that second item in Skullwoods.
So that would be 3 major progression items in 2 pendant dungeons, and it could lead us to the 3rd pendant dungeon.
But here's the thing. So, sorry, I was got a notification. So here's the thing. If we find the lamp in Skullwoods, that doesn't help us because we've checked everything that is blocked by the lamp no matter what. You gotta think that second item has to be the Cane of Samaria, because Ether doesn't do anything for us, Lamp doesn't do anything for us. You're gonna find the Cane of Samaria here, and that's gonna send you to Turtle Rock.
Oh, yeah. That's ugly seed so far. Mentosman with a nice hover.
But we knew it was just a compass there.
Nice nonetheless. Chad makes a good point. This could be Book.
Well, okay, Book would open up the 2 tablets, but still the general point being Lamp doesn't open anything up for us because both of these runners have basically exhausted all of the lamp locked items already by doing the dark rooms. And Ether wouldn't open up anything for us, so even if it is Book, we're gonna have to find the Cane of Samaria because it only leads to the only progression we haven't had at this point.
Well, we could find Ether because we still have all the chests in Mire that we can get to.
Okay, that is true. Ether could lead you into Mire, and then the cane being in Mire. And unfortunately, WinDEU is heading back to Pod to finish it, because he never finished Helmassar and saw this hospital that didn't have anything. Ooh, Mentosman forgot a key.
Ooh, yeah, that's rough. I don't know how many keys they got in the previous chest, so I don't know if that bomb chest was a key or not, but there's one right here, so.
Alright, let's try this again.
Round 2, fight!
Alright, here we go. Mentosman and the Mothula.
Always a fun fight. If you don't know, Mothula, if he's on the spikes, doesn't take damage, so you gotta be aware of that.
But a very quick fight from Mentosman. And there's the Cane of Samaria.
You were right on the cane. It made sense, so there was just some oddball things that could have been, but that was the most logical there. So, looking like we go into T-Rock.
Yep.
Oh, Seed, you super troll. Alright, if I got my maths correct in my head, logic maths, we had to go to the pod to get the mirror, which gave us the Titan's Mitch, which gave us the hook shot, which led us to the fire rod. Or the mirror led us to the fire rod. Or the Titan's Mitch, either one. which leads us to Skull Woods to get to Cancer Mario, which leads us to Pendant T-Rock to get whatever we need there.
Which we need a lamp and an ether by logic. And both could be there.
Yeah, absolutely. This seed has been a seed.
This is certainly a thing I'm noticing in version 29, is that EU is certainly... Pendant dungeons certainly seem to be more and more important in this version of the randomizer.
Yeah, absolutely. And this seed has definitely been making that case. This has been a fun seed. The good news is, sort of, if you want to consider that, since Mentos now has both 2 of the 3 pendants done, if he has to full clear this, pedestal just an easy, quick flute away, and it won't be too bad.
I mean, at this point, Turtle Rock is all that's left. You're going to have to find the lamp somewhere before the Dark Room in Turtle Rock, or the book which leads to the lamp on either of the tablets. And then from there, it's really just a matter of where's Ether. Because we've exhausted pretty much everything at this point.
And the way this seed going, I could see book to tablet for lamp, back to Turtle Rock for Trinex, Ether, or Ped.
I got a small key to start in Turtle Rock.
This is what makes Rando so fun. Maybe you don't necessarily want to play this seed, but to watch and to commentate seeds like this is what makes Rando a blast.
I mean, certainly give both Mentosman8 and WinDEU a follow, because they've been giving us quite an entertaining race to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Their execution has been amazing, and I mean, these are 2 really good runners, and we're an hour and a half in. We're still not even in go mode yet, and you would expect that from these 2 runners at this point, usually in a normal seed.
All right, small key and big key in the fire in the roller room.
I do feel like the seed's gonna have mercy on us at this point, and we will end up finding Ether at some point. We still gotta get Lamp, but that might be in Meyer. Although again, like I said, they probably could do the Dark Room, so they're good to go.
There's Ether. And at 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 55 seconds, Mentosman8 is officially in go mode. Technically, you still need the lamp, and I would imagine it's further in Turtle Rock, but Mentosman8 doesn't care. He's getting out of here.
I don't blame him one bit. And this seed also, if you're new to the randomizer, this seed shows the value of learning dark rooms. They must be learned.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna... Well, hold on. We have to see if we toss the bird into the lake. And he does. Well, he got
it's only the right thing to do.
Of course, those murder dactyls deserve it. Okay. The last time I've tried to do this, I've gotten some miscommunication from chat, so I will try to say this as best I can. For new people to Randomizer, there's a thing we like to do during our run into Ganon's Tower. We are not starting that yet. What I am merely telling you is that if you are not subscribed to one of our speed gaming channels, or have donated 250 bits to one of those speed gaming channels, if you have done one of those 2 things, you can participate in the leaderboard on the thing we like to do. We are not starting that thing yet. I am merely telling you this in case you would like to either subscribe or donate bits to participate in said thing.
Yeah, we're just getting ready.
right, we got a heart container and small keys. We're still looking for the big key.
WinDEU now making the right play, going to be getting his King Mario once he beats Mothula. A little ways behind at this point, but
yeah, at this point, this is Mentosman's race to lose. But couple deaths in Ganon's tower, a fall to Ganon here or there. This race is not over just yet.
No, absolutely not. And you remember, he doesn't obviously know that he's ahead, so the pressure is probably on.
The interesting thing is that early death in Skullwoods that WinDEU faced, he didn't have the fire rod at that time, so even though that death was there, it really wasn't the thing that kind of held him back. It was just not taking forever to... Well, it was having a double dip pod and missing the mirror.
Yeah. And he ended up actually triple dipping it overall, which he didn't need to do, and that's brutal.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So the big key is most likely going to be here. Mentosman has checked everywhere else.
When you're in go mode, it's always after the long cutscene. At least it feels that way.
That John Kimball pointing out that Mentosman did take 3 trolled arm falls, so he could also think he's behind in that respect as he gets the big key.
Yeah, absolutely.
Setting up the powder to get a health refill here.
Gets the health refill and then immediately takes a shot from the Woods Road.
And now you are going to see Mire Dark Rooms, which is not an easy thing at all.
These things are brutal, and they take a lot of practice to learn. These are not easy.
It's honestly that first room where you got to get the Samaria block on the switch.
Yeah, and you have 2 or 3 of those fire shooters trying to shoot at you at the same time. Oh, yeah, that's so rough. But Mentosman making his way through it easily, getting ready to do Vidi, which should be a pretty easy breeze with the silvers. Won't be too bad.
As WinDEU is heading into Turtle Rock to get that Ether Medallion. We did never find the lamp. I have to imagine it was somewhere in Turtle Rock. But
yeah,
these runners don't need it. All right, there are 22 locations where that Ganon's Tower big key can be in the basement of Ganon's Tower. If you want to play in our guessing game, you need to put in a guess between 1 and 22. If you guess correctly, you will be able to get in on our leaderboard. Zunker to the rescue. What do you want to guess today?
I'm gonna go nice since the seed was horrible. I'm gonna go 4.
I'm gonna go lucky number 7.
All right. So it's gonna be Tower Room.
Which during Key Sanity, I was always guessing tile room. My race earlier this week, of course, was the one time the big key was in tile room.
Well, naturally.
You'll be able to put in your guesses until Mentosman goes into Ganon's tower. At that point, guessing will be closed.
WinDEU getting his ether there, and he also showed you the chain chomps are nothing to mess with. They do a ton of damage.
But he gets that ether medallion, and he is on his way back to Myron in go mode. And guessing is officially closed. Mentosman gonna do right side first. Chest number 1, piece of heart. Chest number 2, riot shield. No key, so you gotta go left side.
He could have done tile room, but why would you do that?
Number 3 is the small key. Number 4, there it is!
Well, all right then.
So the correct answer is 4. The closest guess from a sub or supporter was number 3 by Det John Kimball. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, John Kimball. But remember, the commentator actually guessed it fully. I'm just gonna say that. Nah, congratulations.
Well, if you had subscribed or donated 250 bits, you would have gotten the win.
I know, I forgot I had to subscribe. That's alright. I'm rather have someone in chat win it anyway. So Mentosman's getting up to the gauntlet, almost there.
Certainly looking at a sub 2 finish. Maybe even sub 150 be cutting it a little close.
Either way, with the seed we had, a sub 2 is a darn good time.
Apparently that was Detective John Kimball. My apologies. Very nicely done on Lambo 2. Due to asking, was this game lost by bailing pod? I mean, it pretty much was. I mean, WinDEU having to essentially triple dip pod when you only needed to, well, the logic wanted you to double dip it. The runners being able to do the dark rooms was such that they could have only done it in one go.
Mentos has got a big lead, and so he's not too much to worry about, but it is something to keep in mind. He does only have green mail still, and it's a lot. Gan hugs do a lot of damage.
4 hearts to be exact. Mentosman is into Troll Dorm 2. He's gonna try to hover though.
Well, after 3 falls to him the last time, I understand why. Give it one good attempt.
He's still going for it. And there he goes.
And he got it. That was impressive. He's like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with Troll Dorm 2.
Alright, here we go. Mentosman is into Aga 2. Only got 1 hit there. Another one there.
Oh, this is a good setup.
Nice double, that's 4. And down he goes. Time for Ganon.
Solid fight. I think that was a 1-1-2-2.
Yep.
WinDEU on the other side making pretty good work of the dark rooms as well.
Here we go. With Mentosman already into phase 2, making very quick work getting in that setup behind a wall. Already into phase 3. Ooh, Ganon being very trolly with those teleports. Alright, there's one. Doesn't get the torch glitch. Oh, and gets a Ganon fall.
One Ganon fall, not bad. But another one, and all of a sudden, we might be having a race. Probably will take a couple more, but the pressure's on.
Yeah, it's gonna take a few more before WinDEU can conceivably catch up here.
Yeah, if he didn't have that fall, it looked like a sub 150 was probable. I think he would have had it.
Yeah. All right, round 2, fight. All right, back into phase 2. Gonna whip out the Cane of Brine here. Lag away, but certainly get through phase 2 faster. And back into phase 3 already.
Now, once you fall to Ganon, it messes with the warps. So both runners in their first go around with Ganon will each have the same amount of warps here in phase 3. But once you fall, that gets thrown out the window. I believe.
All right, 1, that looks like 2. Oh, he's gonna try for a triple. He gets it. Just 1 more, and down he goes.
Wow, that was, for all intents and purposes, pretty much about as close to a quad as you can get.
Pretty much, indeed, but very well done by Mentosman.
GG Mentosman.
And that officially ends at a SRTV time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 25 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat.
No messing around at the end there by Mentos. He didn't want to fall a second time.
And WinDEU has that big key and is going to be making his way up to the gauntlet. All right, and joining us in chat is Mentosman8. GG. Mentosman, I see you talking, but I don't hear you.
Whoop, I know the cause.
There we go. How you feeling?
My heart is going 110 miles per hour.
I can certainly imagine.
Not only the fact that I had literally nowhere else to go when I went to Skull Woods, but then Ganon just happens to spawn directly on top of me and knock me off. I was in full-on panic mode.
Yeah, that certainly did not help. How are you feeling? I know you had a bunch of falls to Trolldorm, but other than that, how are you feeling during the race?
Pretty terrible, honestly. I was making a lot of small execution mistakes throughout that were just building up in my mind as more and more time loss, and by the end I was just assuming I was a mile behind.
Yeah, so honestly, what this race basically came down to was WinDEU found the hook shot and noped out and never got the mirror, and so had to come back for it, and that's essentially that pretty much was the difference in the race.
Yeah, I could see that adding up a whole lot of time on missing that mirror the first time through.
But interesting enough, we never found the lamp. I have to imagine it was still further into Turtle Rock, because that was pretty much all we hadn't checked yet. But, I mean, you guys both pretty much showed that if you know how to do dark rooms, you certainly don't need it.
Yep, I think looking at what I checked and what I didn't, the latest possible place it could have been was T-Rock Big Chest, but it had to have been in T-Rock somewhere, because I cleared literally everywhere else.
Yeah, so did WinDEU.
You know, I had a race yesterday as like a last practice race, and Go Mode was Bombos to enter Misery Mire on Pedestal. Today, I have this race, and Go Mode was Ether to get into Mire in Pendant Turtle Rock.
And the funny thing was, all 3 pendant dungeons had progression. I mean, that is the one thing I'm really learning with the way version 29 likes to place items, is that pendant dungeons in standard mode certainly have value this time around.
Yeah, I've seen some seeds where they've got nothing, but there was a certain point where I knew if I got Kane before Ether, I was just going straight to T-Rock. I wasn't going to waste time checking anything else.
I'm trying to remember what else happened in the seed.
Cryptix does make a good point. He ended up leaving after he found the mirror and went back to pod a 3rd time to clear it, so all that time lost.
Yeah, I was debating noping out after Helmasaur and just kind of reached that decision point of, no, I would rather not walk all the way back through here. I'll just do it while I'm here.
So one question I had for you is we see WinDEU and Trolldorm 2. You attempted to hover once and then fell. Was there any thought in your mind of just trying to do Trolldorm 2 and not try to hover again? Because I noticed a lot of times you did try to hover, but you weren't really able to do it at all during this race.
Oh yeah, my when I talk about my execution being down, that's one of the things. But Moldorm 2, I kind of felt like I took that fall. I needed to get it the second time to make up the time. So I would usually back out, but this time I just decided I need to do this.
I see. We've got WinDEU on Aga 2 at this point.
So Mentos, you're 3-0 now, so you have to feel good about that. Going forward, how do you feel overall?
If I play like I did in this race, I feel like I'm definitely going to lose next round. But so far, I feel like I've been handling things pretty well. This is actually only my second full race, really. My opponent in the first round had major tech issues, had a forfeit. So I really only count myself as 2-0 right now, despite technically being 3-0.
Yeah, those technical difficulties, that's unfortunate when that happens, but it does happen, unfortunately.
Yep, so now I gotta go through and see who all is 3-0 and who I'm most terrified of facing next week.
Well, you certainly did well, even for all the execution problems. You certainly did well here, so certainly have a chance.
I will at least say I was very proud of my Ganon fights, besides him spawning on top of me that one time, because those both went extremely smooth.
WinDEU take the death, but fairy.
Yes, he does have a fairy.
So the logic in this seed, though, is pretty incredible if you stop and think about it. Whew. You got Mirror and Pod. Just kind of go over again. I've went over a couple times already, I know, but Mirror and Pod. You had to go out, find the Titan's Mitts to get to. Oh my god. To get the King's Tomb. I guess he could have got the King's Tomb with the mirror. To get the Fire Rod, to go to Skull Woods, to get the Cansamaria, to head to T-Rock, to get the lamp, to head back to Pod to get the hook shot.
Yeah, there was a certain point where I just said, you know what? The logic makes no sense. I'm done. I'm just gonna finish this off.
Yeah, this seed definitely shows the value of knowing dark rooms. Jeez.
And WinDEU has Ganon down.
GG to WinDEU.
Just gotta wait for him to get into the door, and WinDEU finishes with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 37 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat.
Only a 153 out of 216 collection rate. That's actually kind of surprisingly low.
Yeah, I mean, well, he ended up not doing Turtle Rock, and Ganon's Tower was pretty early on, so...
True, I'm still not used to how much, like, skipping 2 things can make a difference over full clearing everything else.
We will see if we can get WinDEU in here for interview.
while we wait for the interview here, I just want to take this moment and say once again, make sure you guys give these runners, Mentosman8 and WinDEU, follow. They played a hell of a race. This was not the easiest seed. You talk about the logic a lot. So GG to both of them once more.
Yes, and we have WinDEU joining us in chat. GG on your race.
Thanks. That happened.
So, I hate to turn the knife, but I have to ask. So how about Pod?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're happy that I'm a freaking customer. I hear that if you quint dip, you get a free sundae.
Ooh.
So I have to ask, what was your thinking, like, when you saw the hook shot? What was your thinking when you immediately noped out of Pod?
I think I got the bottom right chest afterwards, and I couldn't find the top left chest, and I didn't want to waste too much time in the dark, so I just saved and quit out of there, did what I could on East Step Mountain. Then I was running out of options, so I dipped again, found mirror.
Right, and that's the one problem with the way, with where you were at that point. If you had the mirror, it's entirely possible that you could have just mirrored back to the start.
Yeah.
But at that point, you pretty much, if you wanted to warp back, you had to do it via Death Warp.
Mm-hmm. In the back of my mind, too, as I was getting everything except for Helmasaur, I was like, the rest of these are probably key for key if I'm thinking about this right, and sure enough. So I could have just went straight to Helmasaur, saved a couple minutes there, but But yeah, all 3 pendant dungeons required in some capacity.
I mean, that's what I was saying to Mentos Man before you joined us, is that is certainly the thing I'm learning in version 29 standard mode is pendant dungeons have things.
Yeah. When Ether and Samaria were the 2 that I had left for items to get to go mode, I was like, just let me find Ether first, so I don't have to dip Turtle Rock.
Well, that was sorry.
No, that was done.
Well, no, that was the thing I was saying when you guys basically had it down to Skullwoods, and neither of you have found the lamp, which, I mean, props to you guys for handling all those dark rooms without the lamp. The problem is the logic assumes you need it, so when you didn't find the lamp, I pretty much figured out at that point Skullwoods had to have the cane, because finding the lamp at that point would not have gotten you any progression further.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed the lamp with everything that I checked.
We never found it. I honestly think it's further in Turtle Rock.
That would make sense. That's not too uncommon, also. At least from, like, version 27. I don't know about this version. I think before I found Fire Rod, I was starting to think, I kind of need a fire source to finish the game. I hope I find something. And Skullwoods and Turtle Rock were pendant, so it wasn't required?
Yeah, I actually completely forgot I needed a fire source to finish the game for a while until I was almost going to do desert, and then went, oh wait, I don't have this.
Yeah, there were a lot of times in that seed where I was just thinking to myself, I'm running out of options, and I'm really scatterbrained on what to do. That's probably due to rushing Dark World so aggressively. But it worked out eventually in the end. So.
All right, well, do either of you have any final thoughts?
It was an interesting seed. At least it was entertaining. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah, GG's to Mentosman8.
Yeah, GG's to both of you. You guys put on quite the show for us. It was very entertaining to watch.
I'm glad for that, at least.
I'll throw in a GG to you too, WinDEU, and thanks everyone for putting this together. It was a seed that made me think logic is for chumps, but that's kind of what made it fun. So I'm glad it happened.
All right.
Oh yeah, actually one more thing I wanted to add. That first death outside of Skull Woods kind of shook me a little bit, and now I'm just remembering, right, in JP 1.0, just clear out everything within a 50-foot radius if you fall down a hole on purpose. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, Zunker, any thoughts from you before we wrap this up?
The only thing I have to say is thank you, chat. Thank you, Jex Referee, for being an awesome commentator. Thank you to Cryptics for being our tracker, and everyone behind the scenes that make this possible.
And thank you, Zunker, to the rescue for co-commentating with me. It was certainly a pleasure. Be sure to give everyone a follow. If you're still wanting some late night rando, we have Vooligen versus Gonspore on Speed Gaming 4 going on as we speak. Actually, it's just going to be getting underway. If you want some early morning rando on Speed Gaming 2, we're going to have Aid versus Caladrius at 9 a.m. And then we have more races tomorrow, and then we'll be heading into week 4 of the Swiss bracket. So with that, it has been quite the pleasure to commentate this race. Everyone have a great evening, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.